Peace, everyone. I hope you are very well wherever you may be. Welcome back to the channel if you are returning. And if you are new here, either way, grateful to have you and hope that you stay tuned and stick around because we have a lot to unpack here on the channel. And specifically in this playlist, we have dedicated our time to exploring infinite creative potential and unraveling the boundless creative essence that's surging through your life spirit within. And in order to assess this in a practical, applicable, digestible way, not only am I providing an exploration and elaboration, which is going to be this series of videos that I'm putting together for these workbooks, but these workbooks are available for anybody who is interested, depending on where you are in your studies, in your gnosis, in your inner standing. You may want to get the prerequisite Peaks and Valleys. This is the second book, Synchronous Universe, and the first book, again, these are workbooks. This one's Peaks and Valleys. These are workbooks for the individual to utilize at their will, and they can sort of use this as a guideline, or here I'll show you in the book, similarly to what we've been reading here. The text is pretty spaced apart, and it's easy to read, and it's easy to jot down notes, highlight, and just work through, etc. These are not extremely long workbooks, so they're not going to be overwhelming for anybody. I made this so that it would be digestible for anybody that picks up the book. Doesn't matter how old, what age you're at. It doesn't matter what you believe at all. It has nothing to do with shaping your belief systems, okay? I think if anything, this is going to help us understand how to reprogram the spirit and the subconscious to help us in our goals that we seek in our own gnosis and expansion of consciousness and awareness. So again, Synchronous Universe is available, and Peaks and Valleys as well. So contact me directly. I can send you a book if you're interested. The ebook is available as well as the paperback on Amazon, and the comment section below will have the links. So just check those out on any of these videos and you'll find the link. Again, you can reach out to me directly and I can send these to you. So just holler at me. And that's it for the announcements. If you haven't been around to know that these workbooks are available, I just wanted to make sure that I share this. I am trying to get this out to as many people as possible. And if you're having trouble with finances or whatever, and this isn't something you want to spend, but you're interested in the material, contact me, and whatever you are interested in, we'll find a way to work it out. And yeah, I'm not trying to, this isn't a make a buck thing. This is more so to share material instead of just verbally. This is an actual tangible workbook that you can absolutely utilize anytime. The material in it is timeless, and you can refer back to it in 10 years and regather maybe a fundamental that helps us reshape our current situation. So at any given point in your life, these references and resources are available. I just wanted to make that very clear, and I appreciate everybody who has already supported. That is the best way to support the channel or me, but really invest in yourself for little to nothing compared to a lot of other classes that are designed to teach people. These workbooks are guided for you to look within and teach yourself, and utilize the God power, the Godhead that's in you, to unravel your truth. And also protection of your life force energy, your prana, and not giving it away to the archon forces that are continuously trying to vacuum your energy and your attention and sway your truths and keep you off balance and keep you in fear. I mean, there's many facets that go into the systems that are currently upholding the debauchery. So the more that people feed into it, the stronger the systems get. And all that's being done via human energy. All right. So today we're getting right into, this is a perfect segue into chapter 1, part 2, which is subconscious mind, egregores, demonic possessions of spirit. And based off the intro, maybe you have an idea of where we're going today. Definitely stick around and get comfortable, get a drink. We're going to read some of this manuscript, and then we're just going to talk about it and get the juices flowing, do some brainstorming, share some perspective, and then we'll get the heck out of here. All right, chapter 1, part 2. Let's get it. Demonic activities in the earthly realm exist partly because they continue to live as demonic entities in the subconscious mind of human beings. Interdimensionally described as polarity, parameters in the matrix, this design sets your archetypical devil and angel on either shoulder, referencing individual choice of good or bad. However, the strong suggestion is made to the student to use neither and direct all senses inward to the planes of darkness, the blueprint of the imagination, and infinite potential to recognize all creative possibility. Now, to pause for a moment, some of the other notes mental notes that I've gathered and listening to other people, I've heard people reference the metaphysical black sun, the sun that's within us, the hidden sun. That's the Amen. And also polarities. So we're reshaping how we understand polarity parameters designed in the matrix. And this is depending on where you're at already internally in your awareness. You may have already done the critical thinking involved to dissect the parameters of polarity that are synthetically designed and based off of the universal principle of and law of polarity. So it's just understanding this, the devil and angel, the black and white, the positive and negative, the good and evil, the harmony and discord. That's all that is. Now, the strong suggestion is made to the student to use neither and direct all the senses inward to the planes of darkness, which is the blueprint of the imagination and infinite potential to recognize all creative possibility. See, there's a boundless creative potential that lies within and is surging through your life spirit constantly in contemplation. And when you listen to it and you tune into it, it's God. It's the God. It's the guide. Your energy, your inner God is your energy. One does not allow the external stimulus to direct their internal life spirit away from self-contemplation or will. Through awareness and cultivation of these machinations expanding within the being and life essence of the individual. This is a harnessing power that must be initiated by the alchemist without hesitation or fear. These are big notes. Fearless in your mind. And affirmative. So you're doing this with conviction, without hesitation or fear. Being intolerable to nature, fear will instinctively be attacked. A will to embrace all that is will enable energy flow, well-being through practice, balance the stagnations that may have developed through imbalances of disrupted electromagnetic biofields discussed in chapter 1. This is a keynote for these parasitic entities thrive from the individual hosting the entities like vampires, feeding off the thought and emotional frequencies, the energy and motion one transmits due to the dis-ease or imbalance in the cellular communication systems in their electromagnetic biofield. Black magic rituals that negatively affect the individual as another feeds their demons to give themselves more power. The rituals occur more than one may realize. How one makes coffee, brushes their teeth, puts on their shoes, eats their food, All humans have day-to-day rituals that we develop, no matter the level of conscious awareness one has in the moment. Remember, astral traveler, you become master of your own fate here. No one can enter your consciousness unless you allow them. So again, we're reinforcing some different techniques and strategies to apply for protecting our life force energy and protecting our mind, not getting trapped into the polarity parameters that the Matrix has designed for you to be stagnant. All right, you're fluid as the universe, just as the universe is fluid. And you shine your light through the darkness. That is the darkness, the black sun that's hidden within you. And that brings the awakening. That brings your awakening from within and allows you to emerge that radiating light of awareness, of knowing thyself. Master of thy fate here. This is a level of responsibility. You're not giving this to anything else. You're taking a full embrace of the chaos and being responsible to bring it to order as an individual universe. You are universe with many dimensions. Now, get back to the manuscript. Even in music, especially in the mainstream industries of magic, entertainment, being governed by secret societies and using MK Ultra strategies for people to emulate and copy and create more channels for the mainstream to broadcast their frequencies of demonic and spirit possession rituals even wider and farther into the Matrix. Now, in the music videos, TV shows, the television, movie productions, predictive programming is a tool utilized by these governing bodies, regulating these industries to further copy and paste the symbolism, embedding information, assembled energy patterns, data into the matrix and collective subconscious mind of human beings. All right, these are big notes. All right, I know I've mentioned these are short workbooks, but I designed this material to be powerful, slightly repetitive, because we're reprogramming the subconscious, and as we understand more than ever now, if we haven't been looking into this previously, how powerful the subconscious is. And this type of material is going to help reshape the subconscious as you take the initiative to gather this awareness within. Again, short but powerful. And that's also to note in the future, I'm going through this right now, multiple pages at a time. Eventually, once we get through it one time, I'm going to go page by page. And I did this with peaks and valleys also. And I highly encourage everybody who comes across here who's interested in this. You don't even have to take the notes if you don't want. If you just put this stuff on in the background, actually it might work better for some people to allow it to enter the subconscious. If this is the level of attunement that you're presenting your spirit to waken up to, you don't even have to take notes, or just put it on in the background, and it'll feed you power. It'll encourage you and empower you. So I'm just noting, as the author, this is how I designed the material. I crafted it to be a specific way for the reader, for the listener, the viewer to embrace at their will. Okay. Egregores, or collective thought forms, have expanded with belief systems of human consciousness. Powerful structures of thought frequency that have created, powerful structures of thought frequencies that have created these egregores are symbolized and embedded into the synchronicities of the collective subconscious. Note, these are becoming intensified via digitalization mediums in the modern day, social structures, social cultural influences, interfering with the natural human biophysical cognitive and physical electromagnetic fields of billions of humans at extremely fast transmissions. Okay, so the speed at which information is traveling is obviously intensifying. It's not advancing. This is the whole spell casting. People take words, and the words are a collection of symbols, and those symbols repeat and they become patterns. Those patterns get entrained and embedded into the subconscious, and collectively it programs a mass of people. Now, every human thought form that collects itself to a specific focus unravels the entity of an egregore, which are thought forms that exist in astral realms. They exist they exist as non-physical beings, and gain their power through human thought form, through human belief systems. So these are the mechanisms that are controlling the psychological influences in the background, the Wizard of Oz stuff. Now, all churches, religions, logos of all the broadcasts, market, grocery store chains. I mean, everybody uses logos and iconography and symbolism and different repetitive techniques to ingrain their energy, their frequency, into the subconscious. So we're already born into the mix of this orchestrated debauchery, and we're not being educated into having and expressing true individuality, developing a true sense of the spirit within individually, and spreading loving compassion, loving kindness through the heart, because humans have developed a level of respect to treat each other as gods rather than like animals. The people that are controlling the thought forms, building these egregores that understand the psychology very well, these programmers don't even have to exist anymore for these egregores to continue reigning power over the mind of the collective, or the mind over a specific group of individuals. And also, the programmers of these things literally they think of humans as animals. That's how they psychologically break down how to herd thought forms into egregores in the first place, where that would be no different than herding a group of cattle in the field. All right. Having this awareness. All right. Having this awareness, the student of God has developed deeper connections with intuition. The importance of the individual being one, embracing all that is. Without distracting or desensitizing themselves, expansion within amplifies and purifies the electromagnetic life force energy, prana, of the individual. Naturally, separations existing in lower frequency fields that are necessary signal communications from spirit, mind, and body to transmute these blockages of chi, the flow of energy fields in the body, and fields of tension. Note that this exists in our thoughts, habits, actions, which are energy patterns, establishing an equilibrium in the Trinity. The heart chakra is the most resourceful field of potential in the electromagnetic field of the human anatomical and physiological processes. So, for a moment here, the subtle anatomy of our electromagnetic field our subtle anatomy, our etheric and mental astral fields, auric energy, we have the ability through our heart to live through love, which is it's actually the most powerful frequency source here. However, it's been capped in its confine due to the limitations have been presented to the spirit, the collective spirit. And a lot of these spiritual forces are now wrapped up in worshiping egregores. You see, so we've given our attention, we've given our prana away to worship things that you don't even know, you have never met before, never shook hands with. I mean, we're not. You're using your imagination to give away your energy rather than tuning your senses inward and cultivating visualization, imagination, memory techniques to amplify the inner God that's within you. It's not an outside. The convening with all that is inside of you is not an outside thing. It's not material, it's not a physical gain. Okay? This is the practice of having your heart lighter than a feather. It's just metaphor for not weighing your thoughts down, your humanity down by this material realm, and utilizing the resources that God gave you, which is imagination, to cultivate your own truth and share your love and your light through that truth. With conviction, not with belief, not with, training, outside training. These are the training grounds, if you will, to program the subconscious as we just aforementioned. So again, please go back. This is a powerful chapter. I know it's the first chapter. These books are short, but they are packed. So as much as necessary, depending on where you are at in your level of awareness, refer to this as much as necessary and underline it, highlight it, whatever you would like. This is to break all the scripts that we've been programmed into, which is you're at the core responsibility or the ability to respond to that intuition, which we also just mentioned. Your energy, your inner God, your energy, boundless creative potential within. So this is also expanded on in Peaks and Valleys, and will suggest the reader to reference the material and do further research pertaining to this subject matter. I want to keep the train on the tracks and stay focused on the internalization and understanding the student is responsible for developing as an astral traveler experiencing this journey. I must personally note, I hold myself responsible for explaining this material and collection of notes as clearly as possible. The goal is for this to resonate and internalize to raise health and awareness of the reader. This is only for utility. You are source, one with all that is. God, be the student of all. 26 also equals God for you. Gematria. You gematria fiends out there. 26 equals God. Alright. Now, this is chapter 1, part 3, and I think that this is actually a good pause point since it is divvied up in chapter 1 in different parts. Chapter 1, part 3 will be reviewed in the next video, and the psychology of healing, harnessing divine intelligence, and making that pattern break which leads to the prison break. I do not think we live in any prison system. I think that that's a figment of the mind. That you orient yourself with the all and encourage that pattern break, which I noted leads to the prison break, which is just accessing full, free infinite potential in your creative, boundless essence that you are. That is what you are. So I think that was a decent section. Is there anything else that I can add into this video? I mean, absolutely is. I don't want to overdo it though. I mean, I think we covered some really powerful points already, and you could replay this in every 5 times and gather something new from it every time. I mean, you could play it back to back and you'll gather some gnosis each time. So we're going to continue building that inner receptivity in a way that you have an instantaneous connection with it, and also you have no uncertainty with it. You have a full communion that gives you an instantaneous intuitive connection that you can harness and employ in any moment. All right, so we're working on real shit here. We're not working on how to gain, anything that you're going to manifest physically is first done here. So this is what we're mastering thyself for. There's no thing out here that you can obtain that you say I've mastered myself now. That's the illusion, all right? That we are in the illusion here in this construct, and all of these malefic forces that have been utilized naturally in the universe of the law of polarity. Yes, that's good and evil, but the way that the law is being utilized, it's being conformed into this construct, reshaped through fields that we've already addressed to control. Okay, to control. That was what the Phoenicians developed: money system and maritime law system. And then they got really good at understanding and controlling money, power, and the law. So if you want to go back, studying going backwards, I highly encourage finding your own gnosis. And I already mentioned, keep doing the research. And with that, I'll give you, what did I have here? I'll give you there's a YouTube channel that's not mine. But if you're into, learning about certain aspects of like history of astrotheology, or I would definitely recommend going to Chuck. His name is Chuck Swindoll. It's Chuck Swindoll, and he's an author as well. And I'm just sharing love and supporting him because I came across his channel, and he gives a powerful message via astrotheology, and also he's compiled some PowerPoint presentations for anybody interested in seeing if you were a part of a church, if in religion. Just shows where it goes back to, and kind of shows where it's at now. And depending on what if you're stuck on your belief system, or if you're actually trying to develop that truth within you, find your own light. All right, that's the goal here. And I'm going to make the brief observance and share it with you right now that most of these churches, I see that they refer to the Lord as the light. All right, and and a lot of it's saying like the light being out there. And to me, the simplest obvious thing would be worshiping the sun, which we already know plenty of people have done that over time. But to gather people around and then direct them out of themselves to a light, to a projection of something, is not that themselves anymore. So you're taking away the light of the awareness within the individual, that God is the individual. You are God, but you have to take that initiative. If people train you to never believe that through your whole experience here, which is what a lot of these courses of indoctrination are designed to do, they're going to continue to allow the individual to chase things outside of themselves rather than going within, tuning all the senses inward, and unraveling the God that's within you. Now, I highly encourage you to break out of any of these training belief systems that are essentially keeping your thoughts chained to an egregore. And the more that we feed these thought forms, these systems of thought, the more we're giving our life force to it. And also, the more that you protect your life force and tune it inward and just reserve it and don't deplete it, the more God energy you will have. The more vitality, focus, intention, the more conviction, the more knowing, the more gnosis you will have, the more communion. Okay? So just all around, you're going to have a better inner relationship. All right? It's not based off of other people and their connection with some light in the sky or whatever. We've already noted, and plenty of people teach these in their light, in their awareness. It makes so much more sense. And when you break these words down, if you study etymology, it becomes clearer and clearer. I'm not trying to pick your routes, okay? I'm trying to encourage the spirit of the reader, of the individual, to go within and unravel your routes. All right? So hopefully everybody, you gathered some good nuggets today, and you can take these resources with you as you will. I'm pretty much wrapped up. I don't want to extend these videos too much. I think we did a great, segment. Gather in part 2. Please go back and refer to part 1 as well as the introduction of Synchronous Universe. If I didn't mention that, that's the book we're in right now. We're going over that manuscript. If I didn't mention in this video. And again, please reach out to me with any questions, comments, or insights regarding the material. I'm going to do my best to honorably present this, as I mentioned in the book, and we're going to repeat it because this is what trains the subconscious. If we go out of here and we go right back into our allowance of the ingrainment of the influences around us to feed us and harvest our prana, then we're not doing the inner work. Okay, so it's about doing the work, and that's on you. So I'm here to empower you and give you workbooks, guidebooks, and share as much light as I can in gathering your own. A lot of it is again reprogramming. Some people say unlearning, relearning, and stuff, that's one way to say it. But embracing all that you are and taking full initiative for reprogramming is going to give any individual a light that they've never had before to be able to shine and success, traverse the dark with. I don't want to use the word success, and traverse their inner planes with their traumas, their issues, their problems that we've experienced and encountered. Maybe it was in this physical life experience that we're in this, in this vessel, or before. So it is a lot more inner work that pays off. I mean, I don't even want to use that word, but what it becomes is the ultimate resource and inner guide, which is your inner God. So I think I've hit all the notes I want to hit without sounding too redundant here, but if you're still in belief systems, consider being a leaf and allowing yourself to fall off when the season permits, which is right now. by the way. Allow your belief system to fall off so that you can grow new leaves. All right. So be the leaf, but don't be in belief system. And one other thing I'll say before I go is, oh yeah, one more time, guys. If you're into learning this from if you want to learn more from an theological sense, check out Chuck Swindoll. Just type his name in on YouTube, and he has great presentations available, like with PowerPoint slides and stuff. So, and also let me share this as I'm hyping him up. He deserves it. You'll notice with people, man, not only will people not ever reveal their faces, which is, some people say it's to protect themselves because they think they're sharing something that's going to get them killed or something. They're just, I don't know if it's some Wizard of Oz, but if you're not showing your face, and people in a lot of I've noticed this, and just straight up listening to like robot voices and automatic AI voices, excuse me. This is lifeless stuff, guys. There's lack of I don't think, because we're getting so used to robots, I don't think we're paying attention to how much AI generated content is being embedded into our mix of our algorithms or social media feeds or whatever. And a lot of it, for individuals, including me, is becoming indistinguishable from an actual real video and not. And the reason I was just shouting out energy and Chuck, because you'll notice that there are people who actually care about what they're saying, and they have a certain spirit behind their voice. Okay, they have a certain level of embrace. They have a certain level of communication where they're actually like, I'm showing you who I am. I'm not scared to say anything. I'm fearless and have all love to bring, as far as the light of dealing with the archons. So, anybody that's out here that sounds lifeless, okay, that's hiding their faces, they don't want to show, I'm not telling anybody what to do, but maybe you should consider whether or not these people actually have great intention for you, and you'll know that as soon as you go within, instead of trying to feed your attention to them and say, oh yeah, that's all ego, humanity stuff. Oh yeah, you're right, I'm right, I agree with this, I agree. That's not even the point of especially this type of work, of who's right and who's wrong. There's the polarity, and we can break that down, in another video. I think once this channel gains a certain level of community, I'm going to incorporate some live streams, and I'm going to do some FAQs and just some live question and answering, and also I'll try to put together some better presentations concerning this information and this material. Again, some of these people out here, guys, they're lifeless. You can hear it in their voice. Billy Carson. Excuse me. I have a little cough there. They sound dead, okay? That's because they are. These guys are dead in their spirit. They're spiritless. They've already sold themselves out to public attention so that they can be a energy harvester for other corporations, other entities that are in the background saying, good job, Neil. Good job, Billy. And yeah, now I think the shift is just people are shifting from that understanding slowly but surely to the conspiracy stuff, and some people have finally got through all that, which is a lot of that's just grift as well. People are just grifting off of your beliefs. They want you to pay attention to these conspiracies that don't have anything to do with the betterment of your well-being. And a lot of it ends up another polarity trap. It's a trap, a design, and you're just pointing a finger and who's right, who's wrong in the conspiracy. So it's just a waste of your life force. So by all means, this is designed for you to protect your life force and at your service, being God, being assuming the responsibility of God. And what do we note here? These religions, again, not only pointing you outward to the light, which is not, that's, it's not where the light is. I mean, the sun's out there, but we don't. Why we worship the sun? If I go outside right now and stand out the sun, I'm gonna freaking sweat until my body cramps. All right. Yeah. So, and if we ever, you literally burn up the closer you get to it. It just, anyway. Find people that have spirit still within them. I know these digital mediums, it's really easy because we're in such a fast-paced loop of debauchery and chaos, and this is all part of the programming. It's made that way. So when you can attune inwards, what I'm speaking of is going to fade out, and what's going to really brighten and illuminate and start to radiate is your light force within. And again, the whole purpose of this is unraveling your boundless creative essence within you. It's infinite. There is no limit or capacity other than the confines and limitations that we're setting up in our own processes, our own frequencies of thought. So, power up, everybody, and I hope that you have a wonderful start to your week. Speaking of, it is Sunday. So let's redirect that intention and energy to that spiritual sun, the black sun, the metaphysical sun that's inside of us. And the sacred flame that's constantly burning in a perpetual state of self-contemplation. Meaning, to truly know thyself, we must convene with this inner fire, this inner power, this inner God. Now, wherever you are at in your thought, in your beliefs, okay, hopefully we've gathered some more. I'm going to rehash this, reiterate some of this in the future. This is important, and this type of information needs to be shared, but carefully internalized beforehand. Especially if you are in the beginning stages, you might be frustrated because you've spent years giving your belief systems outward of you, which just naturally makes you believe less in yourself and what you can do. Not just that, but the traumas, all right? And then the food, the systems here, if you look at the food systems, they're not really here to help you, man. The food is not healthy. It's not good food. It's all processed. Most of it is highly processed and manufactured, full of chemicals just to keep it in transport, being able to transport it from long distances or stored for long periods of time in some warehouse somewhere collecting dust until it's a low. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure, but I know that some of these foods sit around for a pretty long time before they get to the shelf. So you guys you tell me. It's not made to keep us healthy. It's this is all our responsibility. So these commercials about eating grass-fed and this organic or real orange juice, all this stuff, man, literally programming your ego in humanity, because we're living in humanity. It's programming your damn ego to make you feel like you're buying something good. Oh, I'm getting the brown eggs instead of the white eggs. Oh, I'm healthier. I'm healthier because I eat the brown eggs instead of the white ones. All right. It's just like that, man. It's the same. Oh, I got this T-shirt on. My T-shirt better than your T-shirt. Yeah, my car. I got the better car. It's it's this car. It's just like me. This car is just like me. It represents me just perfect. That's me. We have really done a bad job in that regard of attaching our identities, our ego, to materials. And I think I'm going to close out before I ruffle any more feathers for today. But hopefully this brings some light, it brings some things to consider, and it does ruffle the feathers. That's what we're here to do. We're breaking out of old belief systems. We're dropping the leaves in order to grow some new ones, all right? And we're going to have to keep doing that because the universe, just like you are the universe, the earth, is in a perpetual state of equilibrium, self-contemplation to establish homeostasis. The earth is constantly chaos to order. You are the earth. You are the earth. You are the universe. You are one with all that is, all the darkness and all the light. So embrace all of it and make it yours. And unravel, radiate all of the boundless light that's within you in that process of knowing. All right, let me get up out of here. Everybody have a wonderful start to your week. Sunday here. I wish you the absolute best in your endeavors. And remember to have fun and also take care. I'll definitely see you in another video. And again, as always, much love. Peace.